Well, now this is the first time in the set Dignitas is kind of forced to go back to the drawing board. This is the first time where they don't feel like they let a game slip through their fingers. And overall, think of it this way. Remember, Dignitas starts off with a 1-0 advantage in this set. It's 2-2 in actual games played thus far. Now, Dignitas only needs one more in order to close it out. That's their advantage for coming out of the winner's side, but I think that still might weigh on their minds a bit. Being on the losing end of the last game, Dignitas will take first pick, and as we expected, it will be the Rob, then the Odin ban instead of something like the Athena or the Terra. So now Rival's giving up one of those Guardians. I'd like to see them ban neither here, at least get one.
I think Dig will probably opt for the Terra and then let Rival have the Athena, because Terra, in a sense, can still force the Athena to take up really awkward engagements. With that root, you have a lot of spacing control, and making sure to keep the Athena zoned in, or at least trying to deter her from having that dash taunt opportunity. It could maybe even prompt Kallis to go for an early Mad Guy's Cloak, and if he goes for an early Mad Guy's, he's not going to have as many protections as he wants, which is why I believe Rival had to ban the Terra here, but that of course means that Dignitas will receive the Athena instead.
Looking like a good start for Dignitas, definitely expanding the meta here. Giannis open for Rival, a lot of mobility if they opt to go for it. That's normally the go-to in Season 5 with the map expanding, but no, a very early Aphrodite.
Oh, and the Giannis, not even just the Afro. They're going to take the double whammy here and completely risking it for the biscuit. Odin has been banned, so Rival don't have to worry about that concern, and this has got to be something that Dignitas were surely looking out for.
It has begun. The Aphrodite prioritization. It's like kind of like the coming of Ragnarok here, it feels like. It's been foretold for so long that Afro would dominate the pro scene without any real changes, and all of a sudden, here she is. Second pick for Aphrodite. Get ready, coming to a ranked game near you soon.
Keep in mind that Sobek is available, and Dignitas was expecting Rival to select this. Dignitas, the question remains for them is, are they brave enough to go for the Sobek and the Athena? Because if you give Rival the opportunity to go Sobek on top of the Aphrodite, it's going to be a very interesting composition for team fights. You got the control, you got the sustain, and you got the mobility with Giannis. That's the whole trifecta.
Now, a lot of the reason that we're seeing Aphrodite at this level is because of the combination of Blink junglers alongside Soul Reaver for Aphrodite. Which Blink jungler will Rival go for? It feels like they should probably pick one up now. I mean, Daji will likely get banned by Dignitas given the opportunity. I feel like that's where Rival should go, is trying to make sure that their combo, the whole reason they're picking Aphrodite, is something that will actually work for them.
Well, I do like the Discordia pick, though, from Dignitas. I think that was a smart choice. Having the Strife for the root means that Giannis might not necessarily make it through the portals in time, so some small punish potential there. And on top of that, the Cripple from Discordia's Golden Apple could be very effective, too, just because anytime you can keep a Giannis crippled for X amount of time, it is going to provide ample opportunity, I think, for a player like Qvo to work his way towards that Giannis, just blink in, immediately dump his entire kit on top of him, and then look to escape afterwards.
Speaking of the blink engagements from junglers, on the flip side, Aggro, you were alluding to where does Rival go? And outside of Robin, Ratatasker, as well as the Daji, potentially the more popular jungler picks, keep in mind that Susanoo is a god that iceicebaby is very comfortable with. We haven't really seen it yet in this land meta, but it's certainly on the table.
Wouldn't mind it, but that does give a lot of pressure on that right-hand side. Susanoo not really great in the early game, phenomenal mid to late, but had some struggles at the beginning of the game. But it's going to be neither of those. It'll be the Chiron. Now, we usually see Chiron when there's obviously telegraphed CC that he can cleanse with that training exercise, is Wlfy thinking hard there in the middle of your screen. Chiron this time around, still good against the Athena taunt. That one's a little bit quicker than what you're used to. I'm thinking of seeing Chiron against Daji and Cerberus, two gods that have big CC, but that takes a while to wind up. This is going to be a real task for Vote to try and cleanse an Athena taunt.
Vote's probably going to be clenching the entire time, because Nemesis, or Chiron into the Nemesis, I should say, is a very, very problematic matchup if you're Chiron. His dash as is usually very punishable because of how predictable it is and because of how slow it can feel. There's a lot of ways to interrupt it, and the slow that's applied on top of all of that would just give so many different opportunities. I have to imagine that this Chiron pick is being selected because Rival are looking for more follow-up from their jungler, so maybe something like... There might be some execute opportunities here. Maybe that's what Rival's looking for, is to go take the Achilles themselves, maybe throw Achilles into the jungle for Ice, because if you have the follow-up potential with the Chiron steadily poking out, a lot of different range thanks to the Giannis, they could look to all in on the executes.
And you're also cleansing out the Strife as well. Don't forget that you can do the Golden Apple of Discordia to prevent yourself from being crippled and dash away. A lot of safe options for a vote. It's not just the taunt and the Achilles that you were talking about. Taco has been selected. Deathwalker is going to be hyper aggressive depending on if this Athena is going for variety.
Good call on the Achilles. That it will likely go to the jungler iceicebaby. He's played it a little bit. Got to imagine Afro is going into the solo lane. We've just started to see her, and I don't know that we'll start to see some sort of variation in where she's being put. I think that's likely to be solo Afro, jungle Achilles, and so Rival is lacking their support if our predictions are correct thus far. Dignitas, you already mentioned that Nemesis is a good matchup into Chiron. What are you looking to pick in lane against the Chiron to bully him out?
Against the Chiron, well, the Hachiman Humber is pretty strong already. I think that there's quite a few different hunters that could work very effectively against the Chiron. Kumbhakarna, super smart selection, though. He's going to make sure to keep the Chiron pretty pinned down there, I think. Trixtank as well will have a lot of interrupts to hopefully buy his teammates some time, because this is still a relatively heavy dive possibility coming through from Rival. And did I mention the Ratatosker before the Achilles?
Afro support.
You did, yeah.
This is Afro support. This
Holy
is
moly.
Rat jungle. This is going to be
fire
Achilles
right
solo. This is bringing back memories.
That's the 200 IQ analyst brain right there.
Wow, so it
It's happening.
is likely Afro support. Does Kala still build Soul Reaver as
Yes.
a one-of?
Yes, you definitely would want to add that. It's not a bad idea. 40-second cooldown, I believe, for 10% true damage as well.
I don't know. I think Rival got a little bit too cute for my liking. I think this is a little bit too much. Afro is enough to, throw a wrench in your potential opponent's plans. I think that if this was Afro solo, Achilles jungle, insert support here, where's the Geb? How do you kill anyone with Afro Geb on your team?
Their Rival
that
are...
cleanses the Kumba CC. I think that's just an infinitely better pick. I was loving Rival's draft up until that final selection.
It's something else, that's for sure. But this is one of those comps where if you mess up in the slightest on your execution, you are going to get punished into oblivion by Dignitas.
And that's where Giannis comes through to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I practiced my questions now. Does Dig end it here? Yes or no? One word.
No.
Yes.
I want to see Rivals draft work so much.
How can
I
only
don't care,
one of you?
Aggro. I want to see
say.
Rivals draft work,
Let's get into
man.
the casters because you guys blew your opportunity. Take it away.
Tom, just close your eyes for a second. Picture this. Your tournament life is on the line, and you pick Afro Chiron in your duo lane. How do you feel?
In my duo lane,
In your duo lane.
miserable. I hate Aphrodite support. Not
Really?
a fan.
Really?
Not a fan at all.
What's the reason? Is it because of the bad level 1, really? Level 1 through 3, I guess.
There's a lot of problems with the early game. There's a lot of problems with the lack of control that she brings. She's only healing one player. Hell support works because she has a cleanse that's going to affect multiple players. The heal's going to affect multiple players as well. Aphrodite works best when built power in the solo lane.
Hold. Want to say one thing, though. It might not be Afro support, because there is a couple of variations. Achilles support could be a thing. I had a small inkling.
That's what I thought it would be, and I'm glad that
Might
it's
be.
that way.
And I just went to go along with the desk and be like, it might be the Afro, but Callus on the Achilles, we've seen support Achilles before. I don't think we've seen Callus Achilles, though. Definitely the one that rings bells to me, first of all, is Rafa, more often than anybody else on this matchup. Afro versus Athena. I think Afro's going to have a nice, easy time farming there.
I'm very happy that this is where Team Rival opted to put their characters. I think that Aphrodite is going to work out so much better solo.
I'm even more excited by the fact that we didn't go into game before I said that, because everyone would have been like, yeah, you knew who was going to be but I did have a feeling it was going to be Callus. And the duo lane here for Tribal, they've been winning consistently against Dignitas. With a Warrior in the lane this time round, they may be able to do the same thing, but Callus may have just bitten off a bit more than he could chew.
The body block is good. The basics will not be. Trixtank now can't catch up, but Vote very low along with Callus. And a nice play by the guys on Dig to get the momentum in this duo lane.
Root banner again, but the good news is Vote does have some sustain in this lane. Take into account the passive that a Chiron will bring. Obviously, using those shots does give it a bit of regen, and with multi-potions and health potions, they'll be okay. Just out of reach was Trixtank there. But iceice is already rotating to this left-hand side with all this business that's been going on.
Yeah, he's looking to stay aggressive here, wants to make sure that Team Dignitas, with the prowess that they've had in this lane, doesn't look for the invade here. And shout out to Vote already being healed up thanks to the health pots.
Well, the abilities are down for the level 1s, and now they're on the run. Aegis used early by Arkkyl may have actually saved him there if he can just keep running, but this rat is just too quick. Speed buff around his waist. First blood, Rival in the dual lane. Another game.
That's rough, because that is Dignitas not paying attention to the fundamentals. We've seen teams ward out that location time and time again throughout the regular season, right where Arkyl's walking on the other side of that tower, actually. And that's really how you kind of know where the jungler is.
iceicebaby going to hit level 3 now, and QvoFred was going to make the rotation round, but once the level 3 is hit, Arkkyl still at level 1 means he can't really contest. Right-hand side, Variety already level 3. Deathwalker should hit level 3 off these creeps on this right-hand side.
Now, you was talking, we disagreed with who we wanted to see in the solo lane.
I want to see Kumba.
You wanted to see Kumba. Now, tell me why.
The reason being is just I just feel Kumba has better poke potential and setup potential to kill the Aphrodite, specifically if QvoFred comes round. I don't see the same potential out of the Athena realistically. It feels more of an easy farm lane for the Afro up against the Athena rather than against the Kumba. In the grand scheme of things, I completely understand that.
See, I think that is a common mistake. Don't forget that Athena can play in the jungle. That base damage for shield wall and the taunt into it is a really big deal, and Deathwalker doesn't have a way to get out of that outside of the ultimate or beads. Starting with the sprint off the bat, not going to be able to avoid that nonsense from Variety. So if Variety's able to grab the shield wall damage, I mean, that is a lot of poke.
I mean, the one thing as well is the reason Kumba's not really as viable, I mentioned it in a previous game, is the fact that his wave clear is also his main escape, and when you use that, it's going to be an awkward look to try and get away, specifically when junglers come to gank.
I actually really, so I mean, I like the Kumba in the solo. I just prefer the Athena here this time because of that global ultimate.
That's fair.
Trixtank is going to be on that side of the map with the Kumba Karna, so he can assist for the Gold Fury attempts, and the early game generally tends to stay on the left side, while the late game tends to stay on the right side of the map from this viewpoint. So Trixtank being on the left side here by default without that global initiation is nice, because Variety can make the rotation nice and easy.
I do feel most of the time, the one thing Dignitas' dual lane has shown us here is they always smell blood in the water, and when they do, they just continue to be overly aggressive. Beach used early by Vote, because in the sky is iceicebaby down onto 2, and yeah, they've got support, but is it enough?
Well, Athena's here. Shield wall damage, baby. Gets Vote on the left-hand side. Iceice bites back, but he's in trouble. Variety can catch up with a dash, a reach, and anything.
Juke's back in the jungle.
The dash.
Dash does connect, and look at the right-hand side of the map. Callus still in trouble, though. But I love the fact Cubo went to the solo lane to pick up the farm. Callus with the apple picks up the death. The portal was there. The taunt was better. Zyrhoes credited with a kill. 3 for 2 after Rival got first blood.
Wonderful response from Team Dignitas and an adaptation to their gameplay. We've gone through 4 games so far, and Team Dignitas time and time again have watched Rival go ahead, get a little bit of a lead, and haven't responded because they know that they can transition into the late game. This time around, a little bit of a different composition for Dignitas, and also a different result after the last one, so now they're responding earlier.
Tom, I love what we saw out of Dignitas too in terms of the positional trades as well. It's something that you see in traditional sports where a man is missing from his position, so the others go to cover it. Cubo did it in solo, and Arkkyl respawns, goes straight to mid because Zyrhoes have made the rotation to duo, so they share that farm about. It's really good use of the map.
Yeah, the shifting around from Dignitas has been really clean, and I think, and this again is the revolution of Team Dignitas, another point of them sort of improving overall. They're able to make these intelligent decisions and not just rotating with Brawn, but also making sure to soak up that farm as well. Dignitas this time last year doesn't make those calls. Big changes in the offseason for the black and yellow, and I think we're seeing it pay dividends right here.
And shouts to Variety, really, because that gank on the left-hand side really came down to that Athena ultimate more than anything else.
And that's what I'm saying. Kumba can't do that. I love that he's on the left side of the map. Variety able to make that rotation. Mwah. Shout-outs to Coach Biggie that decided to put these players where they're at.
And it gives him a lead over Deathwalker for free in theory, because he doesn't have to do anything against Deathwalker to find that lead. He just influences the map elsewhere.
Yeah, really. And it's also the threat of activation. Team rivals sit there, and there is never a point in time where that solo can't rotate, unless, of course, the ultimate's on cooldown. That said, if the ultimate's on cooldown, Variety's probably already there because he used it to get there. So a nice look for Team Dignitas with the two Guardians.
Let's go slow Rival down for a hair. They have control around the Gold Fury now. Callus and Vote continuing the pressure in the dual lane that they've had, even with that last gank attempt, looking to pressure Arkkyl and Trix consistently.
Another thing that I like about the dual Guardian selection from Team Dignitas is the fact that they took the Nemesis away. Nemesis punishes dual Guardian, and sure, Qvo wants to play it anyway. Nice control.
Got a little bit greedy, gonna get punished a little bit thanks to the Groggy Strike and the banner. In range of death, and the archery is there. One shot, Jutsu off the mark. Callus still alive, and in comes iceicebaby. The rat's in the sky, looking for Trix, but a yawn will get him out.
Trixtank able to get on out of there. Arkkyl as well. Callus just barely gets out.
Game of inches. Game of inches, and that was so close for Callus getting out of that situation. I thought it was going to be close from the outset, but the follow-up damage from the banner from Arkkyl went, okay, this should be a kill.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. You know what saves Callus' life?
Passive from Chiron.
That's exactly
I was
it.
thinking the same thing.
Herbal medicine, baby.
I was trying to work out, like, it was so close. Like, what could have saved him?
Yeah.
Passive.
Herbal medicine. The cure to a lot of life's ills.
Not high amounts of ills, but just low amounts of ills, you know? It just helps you out in those tricky situations. So Callus survives a very dangerous situation there for Rival, which would have put the dual lane in a bit more of an awkward spot. They still have a lead in the dual lane, specifically Vote over Arkkyl, very important there. However, the dual lane doing good work for Dignitas as well now. 0-0-3 for the Kumba corner, which Trixtank has pulled out of the bag.
Lead minimal, though. Half a level, if that, for Vote, and half a level, if that, for QvoFred. So all things equal here, and the gold separating the teams as well, about 300. So nobody really standing on any legs whatsoever. Arkkyl not really too concerned about his lane.
Wlfy this time on the Giannis, though. That was taken away from Dignitas this time round. He's working towards the Chronos pendant. Same sort of power spike we saw from Zyrhoes. He's going to play very similar. Whereas Zyrhoes, gone for the full boots. Will it be a Soul Reaver you expect, or Book of Thoth?
Either or. Right now, actually, I expect to see the Soul Reaver because of how aggressive Team Dignitas have been this early. Athena Ultimate looking for the Gold Fury as well, but it's the fight instead.
Epic uppercut does connect onto Callus, but it's a forced reset more than anything else is the reason that was used. War coverage from Rival pretty deep on this left-hand side, so they can see full vision of Dignitas, and they've got to be careful because secure-wise, I'm always going to favor Rival with that Giannis over Discordia.
You say that. So Discordia has a harder time stealing than Wlfy. Wlfy will be adept at being able to secure from a distance, but if Dignitas are the ones engaging, Discordia has just as much secure.
Well, Rival turned the tail of the tape here. Wlfy, celebratory portal more than anything else there, as he's going to take the Gold Fury, and Dignitas are unaware. Multiple members missing. Rival catch Dignitas with their pants down.
Trying to stare at these player cans, and I don't even see a response from Arkkyl whatsoever. And you're just kind of like, oh, they got the gold. I guess it's an early Gold Fury, so it's not worth all that much.
At the same time, though, what do you expect in the comms? I mean, you can't turn around and stop lambasting your team for making the mistake of giving it up, because that can tilt a team as well,
But
right?
even a micro-expression, even just an eyebrow tilt, even just an acknowledgement of what just happened.
Wlfy's going to be careful here, tries to get through the portal and does so in time. Zyrhoes under pressure out of position now, Deathwalker around, as is Variety. Wlfy can't get really involved, but into the sky, the rat's on the way.
Oh, he's going to just look for zeros easy.
I thought you might need to help out Deathwalker.
Me too,
yeah.
and that would have been nice, but iceicebaby half HP.
Yeah, Zyrhoes just comes a little bit too deep there. The pick on Wlfy was on for a moment, but Not in time. Deathwalker, though, under pressure because Trix is here. The back off did so much work.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's damage and it's displacement as well.
Fully enough, Trixtank, small micro misplay there. If he goes for the groggy strike instead, she's dead because doesn't get knocked back.
Yeah.
Such a micro mistake that could have actually potentially got them a kill.
Those are the types of plays that separate our teams at this level of play, though. I mean, you're looking at two of the greatest teams in the world. Team Rival, the runner-up at Worlds. Dignitas missed Worlds, but again, if you follow me personally, this has been my train. I care that they missed Worlds, but I don't think it's reflective of their performance in Season 5.
No. Or in Season 4, realistically.
No.
Outside of that Super Regionals, Dignitas were the team to watch. They won Valencia against Team Rival, who they're in the final against. That said, if you remember, if you don't remember, think of Aries solo, because that's the first time we got to see that in a hot minute.
Yep, and that was an elimination game for Team Rival as well. So aggro always has a problem with the untraditional compositions, but looking here, Team Rival going to their roots, which is the untraditional. I'm the opposite of aggro. I actually like Team Rival going untraditional with their backs against the wall because that's what's been fruitful up to this point.
And I'm okay with it because it's not the Afro support. If it was the Afro support, maybe it was a little bit too far. Variety, a little bit too far forward, talking about that, and he will have to alter way defensively out of the danger zone.
Yeah, I mean, Afro support isn't janky. I think it's just bad.
I mean, that's what I mean. You think it's bad, but it's actually just jank.
Sure.
That's what it kind of
bad
really is.
jank.
I mean, there's been a lot of things that have been bad jank in the past that have been proven. Geb Jungle.
So, Geb Jungle was bad. And that's actually funny because I was going to mention Mando Warrior's Geb Solo.
Yeah.
Perfect example of when I like to be wrong. Geb Solo is bad and shouldn't succeed, but Mando Warrior, his team, Anxiety Onset, won today, the Smite Minor League Champions of the spring.
There's nothing more fun as a commentator than to be proven wrong anyway, so I'm never upset by that. Me, people at home might be, but we're never upset when our predictions go wrong or our estimations because the players play better than expected and they show us something we've never seen before.
If everything goes the way that I predicted, well, life is pretty boring. So when players show up
I don't know, I'll
and
be
surprise
rich by
you,
now.
it's exciting.
As a gambler, you know, like I'd be massively ahead in terms of life in general. Variety
Back off.
is massively ahead right now for a second, but could be under a bit of pressure. Space and time from Wlfy means that Variety, no ultimate this time. You're doing a damn good job of duking out all this, and reinforcements have arrived.
And he's going to be in the execute threshold, and he gets executed. Rough stuff for Variety there. Kala's quality play.
Oh, the Fire Giant got leashed there, and if it didn't, I think they may have looked for some more. iceicebaby got relatively low, but Arkkyl's rotation to mid lane, trying to punish Rivals' indiscretions in the jungle. Variety was the one overextended, and Dignitas still trying to come up big here.
Trixtank still looking at zone players away, and I love the call from Arkkyl to look for the tower. Talking to him both on the official interview and even behind the scenes, he said, "Look, I think the biggest difference here is that I've really considered myself an equal with the rest of the guys, and I feel confident in my shot calls. And it's the decision making from Arkkyl that's been so impressive."
Well, the EU player's been talking about Rivals' decisions to commit to objectives. And they call it 50-50s. They call it the Rival method of taking a 50-50 that is always risky and going through with it.
Yep.
Rival are one of those teams that have confidence in themselves. Even if it goes wrong, they still go back to it most of the time.
Look at this, man. It's funny because it's not Arkkyl AFK farming like Taco says, right? He's not just sitting here PvEing. He's looking for different lanes.
He's looking to run away. That's what he's looking to do now. In comes the clippity couple of horses. They're both on the run. One horse against the other, but Arkkyl wins so far. Snipes come into play. The Aegis has to be used, but still under the tower. Callus is running and gets it with the cone attack. QvoFred wrapping around the back, and the horsey hasn't got the clippity clop hooves this time round.
Double
as
taunt.
Variety comes in with a taunt.
Damage coming out from QvoFred won't be enough to confirm the kill. Variety's still looking for the taunt, but won't find anything.
I wish Guan Yu was in this game. We could get a real horse race going then.
That was last week, wasn't it?
No, but all three together?
But the horse race was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Kentucky, right?
The Derby.
I don't. Gold Fury shot it. We're not talking accents today. Half HP already on the objective. Team Rival have it in their base. But Team Dignitas looking to respond, and they're not leashing it. They're going for the Rival.
Yeah, into the sky goes iceicebaby. Callus was the bait target, the ultimate used by Deathwalker to lure in Dignitas. But with the tree in the sky, it looks towards Zyrhoes. Zyrhoes just dashes in place, gets the stealth, and Ice ult is on cooldown. Reset from both teams, but the dance is most certainly on.
Cold Fury now. Dignitas
sentries?
positioning. Variety with the blink double taunt. Back end is going to be the flank from the jungle, though. Got to be careful of iceicebaby. Zyrhoes low. He's got to get out of there.
Great peel from Trix, though, to get Zyrhoes out of that danger zone. Quvo very low as well. You see Variety ulting him to get out of the danger, too. Rival come up in that engagement in the grand scheme of things, being a lot healthier and getting those oracles.
Really love the Athena so far. The play from Variety has been outstanding, and it's what's keeping them in this game. Team Rival has been the better game here in match number 4. Well, game number 4 of our finals match, and watching Variety keep his team in here, willing them to stay relevant has been really impressive.
Tommy, it's unusual to see EU fight as much as they have been in the first 15, 16 minutes. This is not the tale of Europe in general over the years. They've been more of a methodical, disciplined region. But this just feels like it's a heated scrim in a lot of ways. Like, they're so aggressive towards each other the entire time. You think the fight's over? No, we're going again.
I think a big part of that is with respects to the attention paid to Zyrhoes. Zyrhoes loves to sit in lane, farm up, and then go hit you in the mouth late game. That's basically Discordia's MO. And if Team Rival force these fights early, often, and make sure that Zyrhoes can't stay comfortable and just kick his feet up in AFK farm, well then that's exactly what Rival want, because that's what Dig doesn't want. They've said it before, specifically with respects to Deathwalker's picks in the solo lane, but I think it extends to the rest of the game. Team Rival are more comfortable when their opponent is uncomfortable.
Really interesting Deathwalker's build here, Tom, as well. Gone for the Chronos Pendant after the Heart Ward Amulet, so magical protection, sure, but plenty of cooldown reduction. That's 40% if you factor in the passive from the Chronos Pendant.
Anytime I see power on Aphrodite, I'm happy, because
that means it heals more, right? More damage.
Damage, baby. The heal is nice, but the back off. We've discussed the build, the Zalia build, which is Asclepius, Soul Reaver, and Tank. But I like a little bit more, and I'm seeing it. I'm getting it.
Well, there's a ward in this Gold Fury pit that Dignitas have, so they know this is going on. Rival Sentry does not catch it right now. Kiss out from Deathwalker onto Cumber, but flanking around the back is Quvo looking for a prime target. This will be Dig going aggressive, and Rival falling back. iceicebaby ults in. iceicebaby loses half his health, and Quvo is there for cleanup crew.
Oh, and the trouble is on the backline damage. QvoFred, iceicebaby. Trixtank avoids Kalas for the entirety of the time he's in that threshold, and Kalas on the way out. Variety trying to chase. QvoFred to the back.
Quvo just lurking like a true assassin player should. He sees Kalas, but he also sees Wlfy. Has to be respectful. Get some good damage off on Wlfy there, to be honest, and the shield sustained him back up. Rival with the ones around that Gold Fury pit once upon a time. Dignitas control it, but they're not confident in going for it.
Still the 5-on-4. Dignitas do have the numbers advantage, and the way Team Rival are positioning themselves is very dangerous. I think they saw that Kuma had sort of left the area, so they were willing to push up that far.
Well, Variety going to get caught in the mid lane, take a bit of damage here. Unstable Vortex off the mark, in comes Quvo and Trix. Groggy Strike keeps him pinned in place. Wlfy tries to beast to get away to the wall and can't do so. And Deathwalker will fall in tow. Nobody else around from Rival. They just caught well away from the walls.
Yeah, and that was, you know, it took a moment, but Dignitas did punish Rival for just staying there. There was no reason for that team to be in that vicinity. Kalas and friends are going to inch up 50% of the Gold Fury. Kalas is the target, taunted, and he's in trouble.
Uses the ultimate for damage, but still getting pushed out and pressured on. iceicebaby, though, has caught Zyrhoes in a rock and a hard place. Gets the kill, but probably won't be able to escape here. Dashes around the corner. Speed buff and blink gets him out for now. The chase is Dignitas going to do it. Arkkyl, as you know, he's going to use the mounted archery. Into the sky he goes. The shot will not find his destination. The rat is out of the danger zone, and the Gold Fury is still standing.
Feels bad, man. That was a really just rough spot for Arkkyl. Using that ultimate and not finding it. Through space and time used because Rival think Dig are on the Gold Fury. But a good foresight coming out from Dignitas to understand that that was the game plan. But Rival, they're actually going to use that to be aggressive and look for the Gold Fury themselves.
Luckily, Dignitas know this ward's here, but Kalas did a great job of zoning Arkkyl away for the time being. Gold Fury's getting relatively low, though. Kalas rejoins the fray. Trixtank with the Groggy Strike pins Wlfy in place. Good turn onto Kalas, but Kalas getting sustained back up by Deathwalker once again. Gold Fury's getting low.
Oh, here comes the look, and game Dignitas snatch it away. That's going to be a beautiful look for the black and yellow. Variety in trouble, executed. But if that's all they lose, it's a wonderful look.
Great pick off for Dignitas. They're stealing that away from Rivals'
Lead
nose,
change.
and there was nothing they can do.
That's going to give them the lead. What a crazy play. You mentioned that the Europeans talk about this all the time, and Rival going for the 50-50. Sure, that's their team identity, and a lot of time I don't dislike it. This time around, I do. When Rival intelligently go for the 50-50, it makes a lot of sense, but I don't see them looking at that right now.
Callus going to zone away. Qvo wrapping around the back with Zyrhoes too. Has the Strife available, but can't really get in range. Rivals secure the Pyromancer, which evens the game up once more, but still a lead for Dig. The tier 1 down on left. Arkkyl looking for a tier 2. That space and time, though, probably going to make him change his mind.
And that's exactly what it'll do. But we'll go right on through. Easy peasy. Nice exchange from Dignitas, though. Really, really hot stuff. That Gold Fury steal probably could be the turning point.
Let's go back to it then. Tom, tell me a little bit about what exactly went on here.
Look, this is Team Rival just playing with fire. Variety and everybody else just sticking around, and right there, blink forward, and the scissors come through from Qvo. If this game goes the direction of Team Dignitas, that will be the moment, the turning point that allowed Dignitas to negate what Rival have done for the past 20 minutes and put themselves in a position to be the victors.
So all even for now as we head towards the later stages of the game. The fighting has been so intense, though, that not everybody is level 20 at the moment. Many actually further away than you'd expect to see. Itemization, too, very low at the moment. Look at Zyrhoes. And he must have some gold in hand, surely.
And this has a lot to do with how rambunctious all of the team players were earlier on. Just looking for all of those kills instead of looking for the objectives or the lane farm, because you were sitting there in the jungle for 5-6 minutes fighting, respawning. Looked more like Paladins than it did Smite for a second. But Team Dignitas able to go back, look for the objective after the fact, and perhaps the biggest deal, iceicebaby has had a fantastic game. He's been running it. He's been gunning it. He's got 4 kills. He's got 2 assists as well. QvoFred's been kind of quiet, 1-0-2. But guess what? He's 2 levels up, and he stole the Gold Fury.
Well, he's doing what he needs to do more than anything else.
Exactly.
Hanging around, right?
That's kind of what I'm getting at, is that the kill count does not really dictate much outside of what you can do when those players are dead.
Blinking from Trix, but his team weren't really aware of that. The yawn is good. The upper epic uppercut is even better. Wlfy's in trouble. Has to Aegis, can't get the space and time off. Trixtank set that up on his own.
Wonderful commitment with help from the Athena. Callus will look for the way out by way of the ultimate.
iceicebaby goes to the sky, but as soon as he does...
Go back, and land. Okay, good boy. That would have been a terrible choice, but actually very interesting. Rat going to the sky kind of makes Dignitas think twice about jumping onto that tier 2 tower, but it sends them to the fire.
Torn onto Deathwalker, Trixtank and Variety on zone, but they've not seen Vote and iceicebaby sneaking through. Vote has to beat early there by the looks of it, and that could put some pressure onto him as iceicebaby now being pushed down by the whole might of Dignitas.
Arkkyl just barely missed the stun from the Aijutsu, and it didn't even matter. The back bait from Dignitas, and here comes Rival into it.
Yeah, but Deathwalker's still going to be tanky enough on the front side to survive for now. One thing we've not mentioned in Dig's build so far, but look at the amount of anti-heal they've got. Brawlers, 2 Pestilences, and a Divine Ruin. They're making sure that they deal with the sustain. It's not just from Afro. It is the Chiron. It is the Ratatoska.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Soul Gem from Wlfy. Everyone's got sustain in this comp. The anti-heal will make a difference.
And again, looking at Deathwalker's build, it's very interesting because Aphrodite heals wind up being very relevant after the fact, out of combat. But here, Deathwalker building into that Chronos Pendant just a little bit more power than they're used to seeing, and that heal is going to be all the more relevant. Look at that, 8,300 right there, just from the Deathwalker alone at 23 minutes. That's a lot compared to what we saw at this point in the other games of the Aphrodites because of the build path. So really nice adaptation, identifying it's not the character, but the items.
Torn on Deathwalker, he's forced to ult early on, but absorbs a lot of damage. You need to absorb a little bit more. Callus trying to do his best to peel on the backside. Mount Archery is used, and Deathwalker's still getting away.
Nope.
Trix is forced to ult, and the rotation's here. Callus the first of all. Deathwalker's still up, back off is good. No further follow-up. Deathwalker will escape.
One basic is all that they needed, but certainly won't find it, and that anti-heal working out. DW will not heal much until it leaves and dissipates.
Hey, I salute Callus for his life died for the sake of Deathwalker to survive there.
Yep.
A lot invested to keep this team up. Deathwalker clearly a key part of these engagements and being able to stay in these engagements. But with Callus dead, Rival have to hold fire.
So right now we've got basically a tie game here, Graham, and this has been Rivals pretty much for 20 minutes in before Team Dignitas was able to snatch away that Gold Fury. As we move into the later moments of the game, this lead really doesn't mean anything. This is more of a tie than anything else, but momentum is certainly real. That said, this is the team that you want to be on the negative side of momentum. Rival, I think, are one of the best teams at mitigating the emotional factor of the game.
Under pressure is how I kind of feel about them. Deathwalker in the jungle, though, been a bit of an awkward spot. Varai's going to get a good taunt off into the Groggy Strike too. Ultimate available for Deathwalker. Trying to hold on to it and does so. That Mid-Guardian Mail is really helping him out on sustaining alongside that Heartwood Amulet. Hello, Ice.
He's going to go to the sky and look for a good knockup. This time, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in. You went out.
He had to go out. There was no real chance. Dignitas fell back, and now Variety looked for the taunt on Callus. Didn't find it, but it's go time for Dig on the Pyromancer.
The rest of Team Rival was too far away, but I feel like that's a situation that you want to force the issue. Shouts to Anatoly. iceicebaby's up in the sky. Make use of the ultimate.
Pyromancer goes to Dig as Callus came in late. Trixtank on the front side, absorbing a lot of damage and keeping Rival pinned back.
I love that Rival didn't... I know I just yelled go in, go in, go in because he had the ultimate and it was there and it was relevant and I wanted them to actually force that fight.
Sure.
I'm very glad that Rival didn't force the fight of the Pyromancer. This is a mistake that we see a number of teams make even at this level. Listen, the Pyromancer isn't worth all that much. You can let that go.
It's funny because I almost expect to see Wlfy fire out that space and time looking for a steal and some damage on that, but we didn't see it.
Save it, because you know what the Pyromancer does? It gives you pocket change and the ability to come back and fight the Fire Giant. Guess what? I want you to steal the Fire Giant, not the Pyromancer.
Callus in a lot of trouble, but did a good job juking the Groggy Strike using his ultimate defensively. That's on cooldown though, but as is Variety's ultimate too.
Trixtank's isn't, and I like that call. He makes sure to keep his trigger discipline satisfied.
Taunt in the jungle once again onto Callus. Groggy Strike connects too. Ice floating around the back meets Cubo. Magi's traded out between the two. No, I tell a lie, because obviously Cubo can't shred that off with just slopes.
Team Rival here trying to find a way inside the Fire Giant area. And Dignitas doing a great job of keeping them out, but not doing a great job of killing them so they can find the Fire Giant themselves.
But they're corralling them into corners, and that's not where Dignitas, well, sorry, where Rival want to be. Ice does force out Arkkyl defensively, though. Wlfy space and time fired right to left across the map for support for his team. Rival, though, with an advantage. They have to sustain now. Sprint has been popped.
Variety also has the ultimate in a matter of moments, and Team Rival looking to chase down Trixtank. Variety will be here on the left-hand side with the blink over the wall coming out from Wlfy. Very, very good. Rival moving fast, but unable to find anything. No kills confirmed just yet.
Tell you what, Vote nearly picked up a kill with that ultimate onto Arkkyl there. Arkkyl was within death. One more hit would have done it. He just couldn't find the second or third one out of the three. So it's a full reset by both teams now, recognizing that it's nothing going to come from this for now. Only a couple of ultimates available. The solo laners and supports have theirs up. The golden experience really don't mean that much at this stage. Everyone's very close together still.
Vote, really intelligent building here coming out from Team Rival Scottish Hunter. He's got the Magi cloak nice and early. Trixtank on one of the most obnoxious lockdown characters in the game, and Variety with that taunt so often. Yeah, the taunt is going to be able to take it off nice and easy, but it's just another line of defense. I think this is a great pickup for Vote.
And just keep an eye on the Chiron in the team fights, because he's no 0, 1, and 5, but he's got lots of player damage. Wlfy aggressed on by Trix, going to get the beads out of Wlfy early. Big play there. Very important to make sure that the Giannis doesn't have beads, Aegis, and his ultimate available in any fight.
Yeah, I mean, Vote Slashline, one of the more deceptive Slashlines around right now. He's #1 on player damage on his team, and just not able to find the last hits.
And it's all about the positioning. Taunt onto Callus. Apple throw now. Apple off the mark into the sky's Ice, looking to channel him into a gap. Who's the focus going to be? It was towards Zyrhoes, but he missed. Zyrhoes jukes it out.
It's a bad fight for Team Dignitas. Way too spread out, but the control was great from Trix.
And they will get away once again. Everybody gonna circle back. Trixtank has to base, but Rival have sustain.
That was a Dignitas team wipe if Trixtank don't find it.
Now with this 9-7, Fire Giant is being leashed, torn onto Callus. Callus in a bit of trouble, but gets the ult out from Deathwalker. Round the corner came iceicebaby, making sure Arkkyl can't push forward. But Trixtank, I believe, had to use his Mantle of Discord there. He won't be too excited about that one.
Here's one of the nice things about this double Guardian composition, though, is that Trix can back to base if he needs to, and Variety's still here with a ton of crowd control.
30 minutes in and still an even game between the two. Trixtank will get back in time and actually gets a chance to get some wards. Tom, this team fight, Fire Giant goes one team, it's pretty much over, right?
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Tom,
I think
if Zyrhoes gets caught mid, it's pretty much over, right?
it could be trouble, but he's going to have help from
He's
the
dead.
Athena.
Already dead. The execute came through before Trix could take him to the sky. Tier 1 tower falls. Variety's in the right-hand side. Has to recall back to base. And Dignitas is still here trying to defend, and they're going to have to give this up as well. Tier 2 falls. Fire Giant's looming.
That's rough. Tier 1, Tier 2 tower, a little bit of a lead. Not too big of a deal for Team Dignitas to really write home about. Team Rival up 2,000 gold at 30 minutes. Ain't no thing.
Big kill, though, onto Zyrhoes because he's one of the ones with a lot of CC. Trixtank yawns onto Callus, and Arkkyl puts the poke damage in. Trixtank in an awkward spot now, already using his throwback into the sky is the rat. The rat comes down. Sleepy time for Trix. Not going to last too long, though. Callus gets another kill for himself on the Achilles.
I think the length of this set is getting to Team Dignitas. iceicebaby going to be taunted in, take a ton of damage, but will not tumble. Team Dignitas fights are sloppy. They are spread out. They are not grouping correctly, and Team Rival are punishing them for their mistakes.
Still the Fire Giant lease, but Rival will reset it in terms for the Pyromancer, taking the safer option here. Callus takes a lot more damage than Bargain Pull once again. Taunt in from Variety. Variety went in with the reach, actually. Really didn't find the Pyromancer, though. That was the only effort made from Dignitas.
Now, Team Dignitas are totally fine. This is not an issue. Tie game, like I said. It's all. Is this the last team fight? I disagree with that. But this team fight will lead to a giant lead for whoever gets it.
These fights and these dances have been so big that you can see most people for 32 minutes. The mages aren't full build. That's very unusual to say. They normally have 6 items at this point. They've sold their starters earlier on almost, in some cases, specifically that of Zyrhoes, just to make sure they could get that online.
Well, here you've got Soul Reaver finally finished by Wlfy, so his damage is going to go way up. Got to be careful about this guy.
And you've always got to be careful with that space and time. But then again, Zyrhoes finds one good strife, and there's going to be pressure onto Rival once more. Big situation with these two teams. If you just joined us, it's 3-2, best of 7. Dignitas are on tournament point. Deathwalker taunted in again, but absorbs most of the damage. CC chain has been used, and once again, Dig have to fall back.
So this is a very different Aphrodite game than what we've seen in the past.
8,000!
Yes, big time healing, big time taunt for Variety. Not gonna have any follow-up, but so much healing, not a lot of damage.
No, not a lot of damage, but he doesn't need the damage. He's there for the sustain and the control of these team fights more than anything else. If you can absorb the damage, Tom, and survive afterwards, that's a good job done.
Exactly. There's a reason top mitigated is on the T screen, right? It's definitely important. Right side, Team Rival trying to jockey for position. And Team Dignitas, I think, right now are reactively playing, and I don't like this look on them.
I'm not going to lie, I'm in the position now where I want to see a bit of a split push out of Wlfy or Athena maybe for either side. Deathwalker on the front line is going to get a poke. Frenzy popped by Rival. That means go.
And the rats in the air as well. Looking down on the south side, finds Zyrhoes, and
Big
that's going to
play.
be it.
They've got to kill Zyrhoes and do so. Callus gets another execute. This Achilles is coming up huge for them, looking for another one.
Again!
Double kill for the support now. No chase from Rival, though immediately they turn tail, not because they're scared, but more importantly, they may want to go for the Fire Giant.
And this is really why I love the Achilles support, is having a tank-oriented character with an execute is really, really nice.
Small win for Dignitas in that top left, though. You may not have seen it, but the Tier 2 tower just fell with all those minions over there. It has taken that down. It's a very small win in the grand scheme of things because Rival have the Fire Giant.
But, yeah, I mean, they're not going to kill a Phoenix over there, but...
Now with the new minion wave spawning, someone will return to base. It's going to be Wlfy for sure, who's still working towards what likely will be the Ethereal Staff as his final item. The rest of Rival barreling down the right-hand side, looking at a Tier 2, and will take it uncontested.
This series looked like it was Dignitas' 6 ways to next Sunday, but everything, as the series has gone longer and longer, everything has come up Pete Tong, as you would say. It just looks like the longevity of the set is getting to them. Because it's not decision making, it's slovenly play in the team fights. They're getting split up, they're getting spread out by Team Rival way too easily, and because the individual players are by themselves, they're not able to get together, and the composition that Team Dignitas have relies on the team being close to each other.
And look at what they're doing. They're just linking the Achilles and the Aphrodite together every single time, and they are frontlining the entire time. Can't kill either one of them with the amount of defense they've actually got online for themselves, including the sustain. You're almost looking at Dignitas now going, man, what about that game one? If it wasn't for that game one mistake towards the end of it, this set would have been over.
And that's the thing, is that...
Is that going to play on the minds? It's gonna, right?
I don't think it'll play on their minds until after the fact. If Dignitas lose this set, they'll be thinking about it. I don't think they're thinking about it right now. I think they're thinking about how long they've been playing, and by extension, that game number one has certainly lengthened the time of the series.
Well, it does also tell you as well that Rival seem to have Dignitas' number at the LAN. Super Regionals, they found the win against Dignitas. Regular season, not the case online. It seems to be Dignitas' favor. But maybe we're talking too early. It's still 3-2. Rival still need to win this game, and one additional one after that in this best of 7 to come up trumps.
Plenty of Smite to be played, without a doubt.
But at the moment, Rival looking confident. The Sieges are going to be an interesting story here. I do feel Dignitas have a very good setup. Zyrhoes with that Strive can cause a lot of problems. The CC chains are going to be strong, specifically when channeled in easier areas.
4-1 split push here. Here comes the blink and the ultimate on to the target. Qvo looking directly for Wlfy. Nice dodge of the unstable. And Wlfy's going to send the ultimate because the team fight's happening on the left side. Phoenix.
Yeah, and Arkkyl's near enough already dead. Has to run away from Iceice and gets away in time. Both still focusing on the Phoenix, doing the job that a Hunter's there to do. Takes the Phoenix down. Trixtank on the front with Qvo. They both in a lot of trouble, have to run away. Callus, though, on a rampage now. 8, 2, and 3 for a support. The Warrior coming up big.
Zyrhoes.
Deathwalker did die, however.
That's going to stop a lot of what Rival wanted to do. Deathwalker has been front and center with this composition. The Aphrodite on fire.
Variety made a big play mid lane there. I think he just got the beads out of Wlfy with that blink taunt dash combination that came in, but the Phoenix is down. Dignitas realized this is a window with Deathwalker being dead that they can try and make something happen. But there's not many options.
Yeah, Dignitas just going to march up this mid lane, look for a taunt, and Callus won't find it. iceicebaby on the back line. Could be trouble for the rest of Team Dignitas.
In goes
Callus gets Arkkyl.
And iceicebaby came in too. The overextension from Dignitas could be punished. Gruggy's strike towards Iceice doesn't hit, and Zyrhoes limping away from the Ratatoska. That's continuing to chase the whole way down. The yawn was too late from Trixtank. Cooldown came into play. That is game because everybody's dead for over 60 seconds outside of QvoFred, and a nemesis against 4 members will not stop this.
Not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a Game 7 here at the Smite Masters. Hot damn!
I can't believe this has gone the way this set started. Dignitas were running away with it. Game 1, it looked theirs. Game 2, it was theirs. Game 3, okay, we got our shoes. And since then, Rival have evened things up.
I always look to Wlfy because the other guys have a default emotion. I look to Wlfy, and the face that I saw there was a face of relief. Just, all right, finally. We had all this nonsense to deal with, all this weird stuff going on. You know what we got right now? A single game set.
Best of 1, boys and girls. If you're just tuning in, you've missed 5 games already. Dignitas had a 1-game advantage coming into today. We're all tied up. We're all square.
Yeah.
Best of 1.
It's gonna be really exciting. It's a single game set, okay? It's gonna be really exciting watching these guys try to figure it out because all the cards are on the table.
We've seen pretty much every pick that's probably possible out of these 2 teams. Picks and bans, very important for next game, I feel.
Absolutely. This series might be won by the coaches.
That's going to be an interesting one to mention. You guys at home, vote for MVP in that game. It's definitely a member of Rival because they won. Let's head to the desk.
I think QvoFred said it best. Hot damn, we got a Game 7, and I wouldn't have it any other way here at Smite Masters, our first ever best of 7 in competitive Smite history, and you already know we're going the distance. Team Rival keep the ball rolling. Still alive here.
So we're not going to tell Hindu and FDOT about the bracket reset?
Yeah, they don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, don't troll. The viewers are going to get really confused, and I don't want that to happen. A whole nother best 7 after that. God bless. No way. Dignitas has gotten the game 1 advantage because they were coming out of the winner's side. That is our version of the winner's side advantage instead of a whole bracket reset. And Dig has needed it thus far because now they are on the brink of elimination, and it's in large part due to the plays of Rival, and in particular in that last game, their support player. Kalas, this man on the Achilles support, just dominated against Dig.
Taking a page out of Energy's book and immediately knocked up after that execute. Just goes to show that it doesn't matter if it's jungle, solo, or support. This guy can make a lot of flashy plays. And I love the draft from Rival, putting Aphrodite onto Deathwalker against a very passive Athena. While Athena was let go from Dignitas, Rival had a response. It was the Chiron, the cleanse, proving to be fruitful.
And that's actually what wins them the game, totally. That chase up the mid lane where Trixtank has Blink, and Dignitas is trying to get something going in their favor after Rival sieges their base a little bit. It was the cleanse from Vote that stopped the taunt onto Kalas, that allowed Kalas to reinitiate right here. That's the cleanse that we're talking about. Now he goes into the back line onto Arkkyl alongside iceicebaby, just decimate him. Then iceice gets the chase down. Zyrhoes after that. Incredible support play. We were all, I think, on the desk very worried about Afro Chiron lane. Rival a little bit ahead of the curve there, decided to go with a different sort of strategy, and it works out better than I think any of us thought was possible.
I didn't think that it was going to be the F for support. That seemed a little too awkward because they're not going to be able to establish any pressure that way. This Achilles support, though, is like, what the hell? The entire way through, even going with the Ratatosker afterwards, like, you can pick a lot of different things, but I think that my favorite part about all of this is that it really shines a light on how here in Season 5, at the competitive level of play, you can flex and make just about any god in the game work right now if you have the right team composition.
It's true. Ratatosker going last pick. There were so many different other junglers going in the last pick in previous games here. Dodgy, Robin every now and then as well. And I'm curious to see how this last and final game picks and bans are going to be, because I'm expecting Athena is not going to be prioritized after seeing that Chiron.
No, Chiron shuts down the Athena beautifully. That's what Alpha Jackal told us about that draft after we went out and talked to him, is that Energy did it against Kalas. Kalas was like, can't really do anything against Chiron cleanse, so Rival take it and make it work for themselves and do so beautifully. Now Dignitas, I mean, Tom and Graham were talking about it on the cast. Do you start thinking about that game 1? Tom was saying that he doesn't think that Dignitas will consider that until afterwards. I don't know. I think it's really hard to get that out of your mind. Maybe not even until up in this point. I don't think they were really that worried about it. But now that you're in Game 7, you're right on the brink of elimination. I feel like it's hard to keep that game where you throw it away out of your mind.
That's true, and you have to prioritize what works to your strengths. Callus works with the Athena. Zyrhoes works with the Giannis, and that's what Wlfy recognized. Like, all right, you guys take the Athena, no problem. Give me the Giannis, give me the portals. The aggression from iceicebaby on the Ratatosker global pressure was also really solid. Just too much mobility for Dignitas to handle.
Iceice has been playing really, really well so far.
I feel as though at times it can be okay to not try and always suppress those memories, though, because it didn't happen that long ago. It was just a few hours ago, in fact, where we saw that first game. And Dig ended up throwing it because they walked a reward vision when trying to backdoor with the Giannis ultimate. And yeah, it hurts dropping a match like that, but I think over anything else, now that it's down to the finish line and you only have one more game to work with to decide who's going to take home Masters land for the spring split, and I think that Dignitas, now more than ever, need to remember what happened in Game 1 so they don't have a repeat of a throwaway again here in the final match.
Man, it's going to be tough for Dignitas to bounce back mentally. I mean, they lose that Game 1. They win 2 in a row very easily, by the way, and then Rival adjusts. They've won 2 in a row now, and now the prospect of winning 3 in a row kind of goes away, right? It doesn't really stay in your mind. Now it's like we only have to win 1, and even when we're down, we can still do it like Rival did in that Game 1. We've talked a lot about it. If you missed it, here is that ending to game number 1. Wlfy and the rest of Rival. I mean, Dignitas has been sieging. This has been Dignitas' game from minute 1, and then Wlfy insta-kills both squishies alongside the rest of his team both Zyrhoes and Arkkyl fall before their relics go off. And then the Titan siege continues, but it still isn't enough. Rival defend their Titan and then actually push directly for the win before anyone from Dignitas is able to stop them. That was a long, long time ago, though, as you mentioned.
And it wasn't just that play. 2.5 minutes before that, Zyrhoes goes in, tries to solo it himself, buys even more time for Rival to get back into the game, and they are definitely looking back at that game like, all right, we got to take the Giannis. Clearly, it's been working out for the team that gets it.
And check out the player cams even for Rival. I haven't really had a chance to see too much inside the Dignitas room, but the Rival players themselves just look like they're laughing, having a couple of jokes. It still seems like it's a serious but friendly atmosphere here, and for good reason. Whenever you take 2 games back-to-back, meanwhile, it seems a lot more zoned in and focused for Dignitas. Like, things are a little bit more solemn, and for good reason as well on these guys. It's very difficult to not only have to constantly reflect on what happened in game 1, I think, but also just keeping in mind that they have to bring it down to the wire in comparison to how simple things seemed the last time they faced off against Rival.
This is a huge sigh of relief now for Rival. They took this best of 7 with a 1-game deficit now into a best of 1. Winner goes home now with this Throne Championship for the Spring Season 5 Masters. They came through such an obstacle, honestly, between having to go through the lower bracket after losing to Dignitas in the uppers to coming back and just sweeping Space Station Gaming. Rival are used to coming through those deficits.
Nemesis has been a big priority pick for both sides. They've